her asking me, it was like this divine connection without her even knowing. And I absolutely joined her and 5 other authors in that anthology so we could tell our stories. And I just feel like that is what my path has been. And that's what the gift and my purpose that God has given me is to tell my story and to connect with other women who may have been keeping these things silent, and not being able to speak about it. And once they hear other women's story, whether it's my story, your story, they feel comfortable enough or connect enough to be able to say, you know what, I don't have to be alone because I'm not alone and I've been through these things and they've been through these things and look at where they are and they're continuing on, the resilience, the strength. So yeah, so I know that that is what my purpose is.
Wow. And that you say that, and then you say um, that the loneliness, I actually have some hosts that are on the podcast and some individuals that support the podcast that are going through similar situations now. And, just being able to, for them to hear this and for them to get these little nuggets, something that can help them get through. Because sometimes we don't know what the next person is experiencing. We may share everything that we can, and we can only share our experiences. But it may be something that the next person is sharing that
Yeah.
can help them get through.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful, and God knows what we need, and He will always, if we just align ourselves, if we just be in place, He will make sure that we align with those things that we're supposed to, according to His plan, because His plan is His plan.
It's plain.
Jeremiah 29:11 is not going to change. He has already mapped it out. So the fact that you're here today, that was already a part of the plan back when He said it was done. He knew that this day was going to come and that it was going to be right here. In this hour, in this minute, and everyone that needed to hear this and everyone that needed to be in this moment would be here.
Amen.
And even those that will hear this as a replay, they're going to hear it exactly when they need to hear it, because God is an on time God. He's not a God of circumstance and accidents and just happenstance. He's not that God. He's an on time God, and He's always moving on our behalf. Um, so I'm grateful.
Hmm.
I'm grateful that we were in place and that we were able to be obedient and that listen we listened to Him. So you mentioned some of the things that you do.
Hmm.
Um, by any chance, are you doing any speaking? Or are you doing any type of motivational speaking or at
Um,
this time?
not at this time. That's something that I definitely am looking into and I really want to do. One of the things that I want to do is go to the family shelters to give back, where the women and children are, to really speak to the women and let them know, like I was, I'm you and you are me. I was in this place, so don't give up and think that this is the end for you. But also, speaking to young women. I also work with young girls. I have a organization that I started right before the pandemic called She is Empowered, where we just bring women together, similar to what you do, but instead bring women together to network, all walks of path in their careers, and just really mentor each other. And we give back to the youth as well. We give them I call them love offerings, in for the youth in education or entrepreneurial pursuits that they may be looking to do. So motivational speaking is something that I definitely really want to get deeper into. I have an event that's coming up in May supporting women, and that's going to be my first event that I'm going to do where I'm going to be the speaker as opposed to hiring someone or bringing someone in. I want to be there to speak to the women at my own event.
Exactly. That's what I keep telling people. Like, you sit amongst, like, you are so gifted and talented. Like, I tell the young ladies on the podcast all the time, because we have not just the group of people that you see in the background, but the ladies right here on the podcast. We have 9 um, host their own show, and they're all queens, and they all have their own brands. They're all doing different things, and they have their own powerful messages. Like we have one that's a social worker. She does policies and procedures, but she has been in social working for 30 over 30 years. She's done everything. She's done foster care. She's done elderly like you guys do, um, and she is amazing. Um,